From rolling tumors to roaring lampooners, the Tigers on a Roll show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Tigers on a Roll, and do we have some news to chew on from interim head coach DJ Durkin's press conference earlier today? And on the pod, we'll be talking about a game that on paper should be a comfortable win against Mercer, but the biggest story is not the opponent. It is the quarterback room. Durkin and the staff have made a decision that impacts the team now and at least for next season. The headline out of the presser, Ashton Daniels will not play against Mercer. The reason? Obviously, to preserve his redshirt year. Durkin spoke about the responsibility of a head coach to do what's best for the program and what's best for the young men that you coach. And in this case, those two interests align perfectly. Daniels, who is the Stanford transfer, has certainly proven his value on Auburn's football team, particularly with the explosive performance against Vandy, now has the chance to return in 2026. For Ashton, he gains a full extra year of eligibility, which is huge for his long-term career. And for Auburn, it guarantees a talented, experienced QB room for next season, like providing that the critical veteran presence, regardless of who takes the head coaching job, sticks around. Now, Daniels, as Durkin described him, is a tremendous person and a great teammate, so his continued involvement is a huge win for the locker room culture in this tumultuous time that the Auburn football program is going through. And this move is what we wanted. And honestly, if you've been watching the podcast, it was expected. And it was a very unselfish decision that shows Durkin's and Daniels' commitment to the long-term vision, which is a trait that many of the fans are watching extremely closely, as there are a lot of other uncertain details about Auburn's future that need to fall into place. And this was a big question out of the way before the coaching search ramps up even more. Now, with Daniels on the sideline, the focus immediately shifts to Deuce Knight, and to a lesser extent Jackson Arnold, but he is still in the mix. Durkin confirmed that both quarterbacks will prepare to play and probably see action against Mercer, but I just don't know how that works out. If you're going to commit to Deuce playing, you might as well play him the entire game. Like, am I wrong? You want to maintain as much of this live action as you can for Deuce. We've already seen Jackson, and this is not a game that we need Jackson to play in. The live look at the future of Auburn football, which I was talking about yesterday, is watching Deuce Knight put 60 minutes on film. If he does, if that's the direction Durkin decides to go, then we get a longer viewing window for the highly touted freshman who will be unburdened by the pressure of an SEC opponent. And this is another chance for Derek Nix to tailor the game plan to Deuce's strengths, which is something Durkin said that they're focused on. And it would give us all a glimpse of the player he can become, because he is bound to make some big plays that are expected of him. And if he can do that in his first real action, then I think that he can extrapolate that out, and he can do it over the next couple seasons at Auburn. Durkin stressed that it's the team's job to rally around both quarterbacks going into the weekend. And I think that was also a suggestion to the fans to respect Jackson if he starts or sees any time at all in the game. Because if Jackson starts, you have a huge question on whether the fans are going to support him at all. So I think that Durkin was suggesting that you got a week to prep yourself mentally for this. How about we just give the guys, some deference, and no matter who we run out there. Because whoever they run out there, I will say, is best for the program. And if Jackson's not going to play in the Iron Bowl and he's not going to be here next year, Let him toss up a touchdown or two against Mercer at some point. But I would still start Deuce. And speaking of Mercer, like, let's not forget the actual opponent. Durkin was quick to praise the Bears. He called them a very good opponent, which they are. And Mercer's not just showing up for a paycheck. They are 9-1, and they recently clinched a share of the SoCon championship. Their offense is an FCS juggernaut. They're ranked first nationally in total offense, and they're fourth in scoring. FCS, of course. But that's where they sit. Their QB is incredibly talented, and he is doing a great job throughout the season, and he has absolutely no problem throwing the ball vertically. And if he can make those plays on lesser defenses, I can guarantee you that he can catch Auburn off guard a couple times. That's one thing to watch out for on Saturday. Is this QB is no joke. He is going to cause problems, and he is good at doing what he's tasked to do. And on the other side of the ball, their defense is disruptive. They lead the nation at sacks at their level as well. The Bears come into Jordan-Hare expecting to play competitively, and we have seen Mercer have good, at least first halves in Auburn over the years. And to Durkin's credit, like, he admitted that the staff was a little unsettled against Vandy. And our defense had communication issues. They spent the bye week focusing on technique and fundamentals and eye control, and they will need to be locked in against Mercer. Especially because Mercer's offense is known to do exactly what Vandy did to us. They change their looks, and they rely heavily on their vertical passing game. This game, no joke, will be a true test of whether our defense can be prepared to play a dangerous opponent while Durkin is spending his time elsewhere as the head coach of the program. This game is more than a tune-up for the Iron Bowl. This is a serious opponent that we have a quarterback problem the week prior, and we need to figure that out, and we need to make sure the defense is getting coached up to play in a game which ultimately could be very close and competitive in the first half. It's also an audition for a few guys. For sure, DJ Durkin, who said that he views every day as an interview, and he has clearly shown he has the perspective and confidence to make tough team first decisions. He is legitimately treating the last couple weeks and the weeks going into these last two games as an audition for this head coaching role. And Mercer is a huge, huge game for them to prove that the defense can maintain while Durkin is out of the room and not necessarily only game planning for the defense. And it's an audition for Deuce Knight. Deuce Knight is the future of this Auburn QB room. And like I said, it is an audition for the defense to prove the bye week really was focused on fundamentals, and that focus paid off and will pay off against a high-powered, albeit FCS, a high-powered offense. Durkin had said, our focus is solely on this team right now, preparing for the game this week. Not the Iron Bowl, but the game against Mercer. Because what happens on Saturday, this Saturday, will set the tone for the Iron Bowl. It is the only avenue we can take to get to a bowl game. And how things unravel in the days and weeks after the Iron Bowl, his ability to bring the team together and go beat Mercer and then go into the Iron Bowl to get bowl eligibility will be one of the most important parts of his quote-unquote audition and interview for the head coaching gig. Durkin and the Tigers have got to set themselves up to go to this bowl, to go to a bowl game. We have not been in 2 years, and when we went 3 years ago, we lost and had to rotate quarterbacks. They also need to go spoil Alabama's season. And that all starts with a win against Mercer. A win against Mercer that hopefully has a ton of action from Deuce. And we're going to cover it more throughout the week, but Deuce Knight getting a full 60 minutes to show what he can do and why he is fetching so much NIL money and why keeping him is so important in this roster retention game. Mercer is going to be the time to see that. And before we do the Tigers on a Prowl segment, let's hear from our sponsors. Brahma Marketing is your one-stop shop for everything from signs and apparel to high-impact vehicle wraps. As a certified 3M graphics company, they guarantee quality and durability. They've partnered with Greystar Real Estate, Prisma Health, HD Supply, and more. Stop blending in, start standing out. Visit brahmamarketing.com to get started on your next project. War Eagle from the Orlando Auburn Club. Are you an Auburn alum or fan living in the Orlando area? This is more than just a club. It's your official connection to the Auburn family right here in Central Florida. The club hosts watch parties and networking events for past, current, and future Tigers and their families. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and online at orlandooauburnclub.org. Outside of the next football game that we have coming up, we had baseball playing their blue and orange scrimmages to wrap up the fall ball season. I believe Orange won with a walk-off homer in the 10th inning last night, 2 nights ago. And then tonight you've got women's basketball taking on Georgia State at home, and then Rutgers for their Hardwood Harvest game on Thursday night. Tennis is out competing in the NCAA singles and doubles championships in Orlando for the rest of the week. The men's basketball team takes on Jackson State in Neville at 8 Central on Wednesday. Swim and dive is heading up to Greensboro, North Carolina for the NC State invite. And big stuff is happening at the Equestrian Center. The equestrian team brings number 1 UGA to town and will have an equestrian branded basketball jersey giveaway for students that attend the match. So get out there to the Equestrian Center and watch number 2 take on number 1. And if you are a student, go get yourself a co-branded Auburn basketball, Auburn equestrian basketball jersey during that giveaway. That'll be super sweet. And if you get one, send me a picture or send me a jersey. How about that? Cross country track will be up in Columbia, Missouri for the NCAA championships, and volleyball starts the SEC tournament on Saturday morning. And we will be sure to preview most, if not all, of those events throughout the week. So turn on notifications so that you can catch them when they drop. If you are new and enjoyed the show, please like and share the channel. It is greatly appreciated. But that will be wraps on this episode. So until next time, War Eagle, and I will see you.